After a chaotic US and NATO-led departure from Afghanistan, the Taliban have been able to successfully form a cabinet, which is anything but inclusive. The newly formed government has moved a step ahead in cementing their grip over Afghanistan, and now, according to reports, they are set to hold an oath-taking ceremony on the 11th of September. Now remember, the 11th of September is the day which also marks the 20th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks in the US. And if the reports hold true, then the question, of course, arises, 20 years after 9/11, have the terrorists won? The newly formed Taliban government has already rolled out invitations to various countries to be a part of the oath-taking ceremony. These nations include China, Turkey, Pakistan, Iran, Qatar and India. However, the Taliban have not yet commented on the oath-taking ceremony of the newly formed government. Reports even suggest that there could also be no oath-taking ceremony and that the government continues to function as normal. Now remember, the Taliban had said earlier that they already have established relationships with their neighbors, including China, of course. They have called on other countries to reopen their embassies in the war-torn nation as of now. However, the international community is still not ready to recognize the announced interim government. The non-inclusivity of certain sections of society and the representation of various old guards who are listed as proscribed terrorists by the United Nations are many of the reasons, and the international community has voiced the same. Meanwhile, the United States, in its recent reaction on the Taliban government, has said that the cabinet does not reflect what the international community and the US had hoped to see. Before this, the US had said that the Taliban was businesslike and cooperative in the latest evacuations, which saw 200 foreigners, including many Americans, leave Afghanistan. On the other hand, the Taliban have lashed out at the international criticism against the members of their interim setup, especially the United States, who they say are violating the Doha peace agreement by not recognizing the interim Taliban government. If reports are to be believed and the oath-taking ceremony takes place according to schedule, the big questions, of course, are: have the terrorists won after the 20-year war led by the United States? Is the date and timing of the Taliban oath-taking ceremony a message for the United States? And will the nations invited for the ceremony move towards recognizing the government of the Taliban in Afghanistan? For more on this, our correspondent Anas Malik has sent us more details in this next report from Kabul. Take a look.
Reports suggest that the Taliban's government is all set to take oath tomorrow, the 11th of September, on the 20th anniversary of the heinous 9/11 attacks. These are just reports for now, and they have not been confirmed. On the other hand, at least 6 countries were invited, which was confirmed by Zabiullah Mujahid in his press conference as well, in response to my question. The countries that were invited included Pakistan, Iran, China, Russia, Turkey and Qatar. Now there are reports that the invites have also been rolled out to Egypt and the United States and Uzbekistan as well. It is yet to be substantiated, but what I can confirm that Russian ambassador and the Uzbek ambassador are to participate in this oath-taking as and when it takes place. There are high chances that it can take place on the 11th of September, that is tomorrow. Additionally, the Taliban are now changing signages around the city. We saw the murals outside the US embassy being painted with the Taliban flag, and the outer side of the Hamid Karzai International Airport, the sign being removed and it just being replaced by the Kabul International Airport. Yesterday we saw that there was a call for protest, which was basically the Taliban tried to avert it, and they had deployed more and more security personnel to avoid these protests. We saw a statement coming in from the Ministry of Interior banning protests, but day before yesterday we saw the brutality of the Taliban on journalists, where 6 journalists were arrested and then lashed in a more brutal manner. The Taliban are yet to comment on that, but this goes on to show how brutal the group can be in case if the reportage is not as per their standards. Anas Malik in Kabul, Afghanistan for WION World is One.
WION World is One is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.